It's time.
Do you have time?
Do you know what time it is?
The time is now.
The time is now.
The time is now.
Do you know what time it is? The time is now.
The time
Do you
is
know
now.
what time it is? The time is now. Do you know what time it is? The time is right now.
Do you have time?
Get caught in a net with ANet. For your mind, body, and soul. Get caught in a net with ANet. It's your intellectual radio show. Here to inspire you and encourage you to be your very best. Get caught in a net with ANet.
Coming up next on Mind, Body, and Soul with Annette.
You are now tuned in to Mind, Body, and Soul with Annette, where your hosts, Annette Harris, analyze intriguing life questions and concerns, such as, do Christians suffer from mental illness? Have you wondered why they act abnormal? Or you may ask, what is really going on in their minds? Do you need Annette? Well, keep listening for a biblical understanding of the psychology of the mind.
Great evening, guys. Welcome to another wonderful segment of Mind, Body, and Soul with Annette. I'm your girl, your host, Annette Harris. I'm your certified mental health ambassador. I am the CEO of GetcaughtinANet Incorporated and two-time award-winning author of that bestseller, Surviving a Silenced Heartbeat, and new author of Here We Grieve Again, the companion journal. I'm so excited to be here this evening, guys. Listen, I want to do this because this is how we roll. Let me pray first. Lord, we thank you for all things. We thank you for blessing us and giving us your wisdom and your strength, your direction and your instruction. We pray that you would get the glory out of this segment and everything we go to say and do. In Jesus' name we pray. The first part of Hosea 4:6, I normally like to quote, states, "My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee." And I always say we don't want to be rejected by Christ and what we're doing here in this day and this time. He has us here for a reason, and there's a purpose. There's a purpose for each and every one of you. Listen, before I get started and bringing my guest in, I want to encourage you that we are live on Instagram, GetcaughtinANet, and I see you guys coming in over there. I appreciate you. Also on Facebook, Annette GetcaughtinANet, and then on YouTube, GetcaughtinANet. So you shouldn't miss us at all. You can listen to us live. Please make sure that you engage with us. Throw up the thumbs up, the heart, the care button, if you would not mind doing that for us. Also, you can tag individuals directly into this live stream. So what will happen if they're not able to watch it live now, they can go back and watch the recorded segment. And I am grateful on this evening to be able to present to you. I always like to try and bring in, new guests different projects that they have, something that will help to encourage you. I'm always thinking about you, those that, follow me, those that are watching. I'm thinking about you and what it is that you're possibly dealing with. And this segment on tonight is going to be something that you want to tune into. So, as some of you are probably winding now from a day's work, get your tea, I don't know if you drink coffee this late or whatever, but please make sure you get comfortable. And we want to have you engaged, because I'm going to bring on now a beautiful, beautiful young woman of God that I have actually met. And I don't think she knows this. I think our connection is through Kristen Harris. And Kristen is my publisher of both of my books. And I was looking, I always look to see what individuals are doing. My goodness. And Kristen that's one busy girl, I'm telling you. But she gets the job done, and she's doing what God instructs her to do. And this is another author, another friend of hers. I'm going to bring her in. She's such a beautiful, you'll see. Let me bring her in. Is she gorgeous? She is just gorgeous. I'm telling you. This is Shamika White, and she is with us on tonight. I'm going to read a little bit of her bio, but I see you guys coming in. Somebody said they like my hair. Thank y'all. I appreciate that. I saw that comment. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Let's see here. Is that my cousin on Harris Collier? Thank you. So I'm always encouraging you. Thank you. You encourage me when you come and you support. So thank you so much. And Nicole Reed, that's another good friend of mine. She said, you're such a blessing. I would say that about you, my friend. But thank you for that compliment. And whoever that is that begs, thank you for the compliment. I appreciate that. Instagram, I see you, Stephanie. And is that another Steph? Oh, okay. I see you guys. I'm going to start trying to, say these names, because, you have the abbreviated names on Instagram. But thank you all for coming. I appreciate you. And so we're going to have her to talk tonight. Let me read a little bit about this, because I was so impressed with the short bio that she's given me. I know it's short because I know she's done so many things. But listen to this. Shamika White is a retired United States Navy veteran. Thank you for your service. And a 5-time best-selling author, speaker, and the founder of Healing Circle Network. I like that name already. It's a global faith-based magazine and healing platform that's dedicated to emotional restoration, personal transformation, and community healing. Mm-hmm. Now, y'all already know why. Y'all see why I was connected with this. My goodness. It says she is the visionary behind multiple trauma-informed initiatives, including healing circles, leadership development programs, and women-centered wellness experiences that reach individuals across the United States and internationally. Through her writing, ministry, and community leadership, she is passionate about helping individuals break cycles of trauma. That's what really grabbed me. To reclaim their voice and walk boldly in purpose. Her work bridges faith, healing, and leadership, creating safe spaces for growth, restoration, and lasting impact. So welcome to Mind, Body, and Soul with Annette, Shamika White. How are you this evening?
I am so good. I'm excited to be here. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me. It really means a lot.
You are so welcome. I appreciate you for consenting to come on and for accepting my invitation. I reached out to her because I think I reached out to you. I don't know if there were some things that were going on with your latest publication or something like that. I think that's what I saw. But I think I saw Kristen do a post about one or some of your books. Mm-hmm. And I said, I think I believe I need to connect with her. I would love to have her on so I can talk to her. But then, you know what? The other day I was listening to a live stream and you were giving a little bit of background about the book, mm-hmm. about the latest book that has come out.
Yes.
So I was like, "Oh, I'm on the right track there." talk to us. Let's do this. I'm asking you to introduce yourself a little bit. I know I read your bio, but maybe kind of in your own words, tell us who you are and what you're doing.
Yes. Hi, family. Again, I am Shamika White. I'm super excited to be here. So, a little bit about me, right? You have to know I've been through some stuff to write about are written about, right? And so I faced a lot of things in life and didn't feel like I had that safe space to release, right? In the world that we live in, we like to retaliate, right? We like to talk about each other and just pull our self-esteem down, right? And I don't like that at all. Nothing about that screams normal to me, right? That says unhealthy, right? And a lot of times we normalize what's unhealthy. And I had to ask God, why me? He said, why not? I didn't do this to you. I did this for you. You're not afraid to speak out. You're not afraid to talk about what's wrong and how we need to make it right, right? And you're relatable because of the experience, right? So I served in the military. I signed up for the Navy. I love to tell people this. I signed up for the Navy. What I did not know was that the department, that the Marine Corps fell under the Department of the Navy. So I served with the Marines my entire enlistment.
Oh
my God. I went to Navy boot camp, I went to Navy school, and then I found myself in Marine Corps training and on Marine Corps bases. I've never lived on a ship, I've never served on a ship. And so those Marines taught me a lot. I mean, my eyes were open like, what is happening? But my job is what made it so special. I was a chaplain's assistant. I managed a church. And so yes, I did. All of the problems that people face, relationships, marriages, children, child support, financial issues, right? Religious beliefs, everything that happens in life, they come to the church. And so I was that first responder when they walk into the building, who they needed to speak to try to calm them down, create that safe space for them, and then connect them with the chaplain that would best fit what they were going through, right? And so I was like, God, you are really doing something, because here I am, 19. I was 19 years old, and I could not believe it. And the military is so much. You got to deal with war and PTSD, and then when the service member leaves, the spouse is home alone, right? And so now that spouse is raising kids by herself. She never intended. She didn't sign up for this, right? And so we had to make sure that we created that safe space for the spouses as well. And so that's how my ministry started. That's how it all started. Yeah.
That's amazing. And at 19. Okay. Yeah. Ooh, I have so many questions, but I'm going to try and stay on track. Wow. Yeah. And when you look at things, you know that God has a bigger picture, obviously he set you up that way for a reason. Now, let me ask you this, though. I don't think I'll get too off track asking this question. Had you experienced many things at that point? Probably not even the major things that you even wrote about, right? Not at that point.
Nope, not at all.
Wow.
Nope, not at all. It wasn't until I signed up for the military is when I started to life started lifing. Life started lifing. I experienced a little something while here, relationships not lasting, but I'm young, right? That didn't count as an adult though, right? That's when the real life issues start to happen. And I was like, wow, we are just unhealed.
Ooh.
We are unhealed.
Mm-hmm. Oh my goodness.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Okay, now my mind is already going. I know Shamika, now we're gonna have some off the camera conversations, but I do want to hop in because I want to make sure that we kind of focus on your books and your projects and the surrounding or the background of how it came to be. Mm-hmm. they say necessity is the mother of all invention. But I believe a lot of times when we go through stuff, these books, they're birthed out of it. You and I talked just a little bit before the show, and you were talking a little bit about your writing background. Maybe we can start there, how your writing background started and then kind of evolve into your books, your projects, and how they relate to your life story.
Yes, that is so good. So I was sharing with Miss Annette, and I want you guys to know, I started writing when I was 15. So our English teacher, and I went to Hyde Park Academy. So whoever my English teacher was at that time, she had us, as soon as we walked into the class, she gave us journals so that we can start writing about our experiences and things that we did throughout the week. And so one day, she had me to stay after class, and I'm thinking, wow, I must be in trouble. I wrote something I wasn't supposed to write. And she said, is this true, what you're writing? And I said, yes, it's true. And she literally told me at the age of 15, I look forward to reading your books. And at 15, who's thinking about writing? Not me, I can tell you that. I was not thinking about becoming an author, but she planted that seed. And I heard her, but not really, right? And so after the military, I experienced some things. And when I got out of the military, I sought out counseling. Thank God that is a benefit for us veterans. But I was specific on a male therapist, that I really wanted to have a male therapist to sit in a seat of a father. And so with some conversations, I wanted to hear how he would respond as a father, right? A different perspective. And he said, you journal? And I said, I do. He asked me to bring those journals in, and I brought the journals, and he said, do you know how many books you have right here? These are all books. And so the first book, Shattered, Shattered is, I'm going to tell you this, Shattered is actually my second book, but my first book published. So I've written 6 books. I've published 5. Yes, I've published.
Okay. That's beautiful. Wow. Okay, so it was the second book written, but the first one published.
Published, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
What, did you have a title for the first book?
Oh, yeah. It's called Enduring the Fight of My Life.
Ooh, wait, that title alone grab you. Okay. I'm sure we've all had some fights that we've had to endure. Yeah. My goodness. Mm-hmm. Okay. I want to, let me back up just a little bit. So you said that when you got out of the military is when you sought the therapist or the therapy and counseling. How long were you in the military? I don't think I asked that.
No, yeah, it's okay. I served 8 years active, and then all the rest was reserve, active reserve. Yeah, so in total, 17 years.
Oh, ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, bless your heart. Yes, thank you. Thank you again for your service. My goodness. Okay, wow. Okay, so why do you think, and I know you said that you wanted to get a father's perspective. That's why you asked for a male therapist when you sought out counseling. What's the background with that? Is there anything, else to that, more that meets the eye for you asking for a male therapist?
Yes, I think that women, we have a different perspective sometimes from men, right? And all of my role models were male. They all had that father figure. And so I wanted to continue that outside of the military. So when I went to the military, the chaplains, these pastors, they became more of just a boss. They became father figures. And I love men sometimes, and I'm not biased, women, I'm 100% a woman, okay? And I'm an advocate for women, 100%. But a father's love is so different, right? They're so much more protective, and they have, you women, we can make our fathers uncomfortable when we have our conversation, right? But they become very protective, and then they put themselves in the seat of a man that you were dating. Or if they put themselves in that seat. And so then they start to look at it totally different. And I needed that in that time because I was ready to get married, right? And I wanted to make sure when I went and walked into this marriage, that I had a different perspective on marriage, not just from a woman's perspective. And women, we're nurturing, we cover, but I needed that male perspective as well. And so I asked for a male therapist to make sure I was walking into my marriage the right way, right? I didn't want opinions.
Okay.
I didn't want opinions. I wanted facts. I wanted a therapist opinion.
I got it. Right. And
Yeah,
nobody that's too close to you, but
unbiased.
and
Yes.
right. Okay. Okay. I see. I understand. I understand.
Yeah.
I mean, we have different reasons for doing certain things. I just wanted to know if there was something else deeper there, and you answered that. So yeah, that's good, and that was good reasoning. Now, were you engaged, or was there marriage on the horizon at
Yes,
this
I did.
point?
I got married. Yeah, I was married. I got married in 2017,
Okay.
and we had a divorce in 2023.
Oh wow.
Hmm.
Was the 6 year about, yeah,
Yeah,
about
almost
6
6
years.
years. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right. Is that the background of these, one or more of these books?
Oh yes. So,
No,
yeah,
talk to me.
what
Talk
love
to
is
me.
not. What love is not is the background for that one. Yeah. Yeah, I
Okay.
learned so much. Yeah, I turned my lessons into wisdom, and I wrote it
Mm.
out. Hmm.
Okay. All right. Mm. Well, I mean, I want you to feel comfortable to share,
Yeah.
as much as you want about this book. Now, okay, so do me this favor, rattle off your books and where everyone can find them first. We'll do like that little
Yeah.
commercial break, so we'll know what we're dealing with here. What do you name your books?
Yeah. So my first book is titled "Shattered: Journaling Through the Pain for Healing."
Hmm.
My second book is called "Vow to Self: Eight Self Promises." Right. The third book is called The Judas Effect, describing 7 characteristics of a Judas, of a frenemy, a friend and enemy, right? But how to pray for them and how to pray for them. And then my fourth book is called The Fearless Climb, The Fearless Climb. And my fifth book that I just released is called 30 Days of Understanding What Love Is Not. Now, every book except for The Fearless Climb is on Amazon. The Fearless Climb, I wrote um, as a workbook, a part of a program called The Fearless Climb. So the program is called a 30-day transformational program entitled The Fearless Climb. So you can't purchase that on Amazon. You have to be a part of a healing group in order to get that book. Yes.
Okay. Bringing me into talking about, so your foundation. Is that the group you're talking about? Did you have to be a part of for that book,
The
or
Fearless Climb.
okay, okay. So this healing circle network, how did this come to be? You're the founder of that,
Yes.
and you focus on emotional restoration, personal transformation, and community healing. So how does this? Because and now that's a magazine.
So the Healing Circle, I have a Healing Circle magazine and then the Healing Circle network.
Okay,
So the
all right,
magazine falls under the network. Yes. Yes.
gotcha.
Yes.
Okay, so
Yes.
how does all this tie in with your books?
Yes. So every book is about healing, right? Um, they're all devotional journals, okay? Because that's how I started writing is journaling, right?
Yeah.
And so during my divorce, I was introduced to a healing circle
Mm,
and called Faith on a Journey, an organization called Faith on a Journey. Shout out to Jocelyn. She is so amazing.
beautiful.
Jocelyn is so amazing. And so I was introduced to Jocelyn and I was going through my divorce and I know I needed a healing circle. I needed that safe space
Right.
where I could find me again, right?
Mm.
Because hurt transforms us. Depression is a mind-altering disease. It transforms us. And hurt people hurt people. I didn't want to be that, right?
Mhm,
I didn't
mhm.
want to be that. So I joined her circle. And in that healing circle, my God, it was just so transformational. I became a facilitator. And so
Oh,
I joined Jocelyn's team, yes, as a trauma healing facilitator. So I've been with her for 3 years. And I think maybe at the end of the first year, I'm a dreamer. I started having these dreams.
mm.
God reminded me in 2015 what he promised me. And he was like, this is part of the promise. And I said, oh my God. And what God gave me in 2015 was Blues Unveiled. Blues means sad sorrow, depression, and unveil means to uncover. And God literally told me in 2015, I'm going to use you to uncover one's blues, one story at a time. And I was trying to figure out, God, how are we going to do that? Right? He said, we're going to start with you. So I started telling my story. Right now, I'm shattered. So those are all a part of my story. And then when I got into this healing group, he said, and this is how you're going to reach more. You're going to now start creating safe spaces. And so I went through more training with the Trauma Healing Institute, and I became an advanced trauma healing facilitator and trainer. So now I train others to do the work. And then God was like, we have to go further. And I'm thinking, how? And again, he showed me the magazine. And so I birthed the Healing Circle Network magazine, and that magazine is in Africa, Ireland, France, Sweden, Alaska. Of course, we all know it's a part of the United States, but Alaska's in their own little part, you know. So when I saw that, I was like, wow. And then literally 2 nights ago, the magazine hit the Philippines. So
praise God. Oh, that's awesome.
So
I love it. Okay.
I couldn't believe it. And so it all comes together because people need a safe space. People don't know how to heal, right? We continue with these generational curses and not having that safe space because, again, we've been normalizing abuse. And God told me with the Healing Circle Network for me to gather individuals, businesses, organizations that are also in the healing business so we can start coming together and like form this union to let people know hurt people. However, we can equip you to be whole so whole people can heal others. And so that's how the Healing Circle Network came about. And I was just obeying God.
Right. Well, I thank you on behalf of those who have encountered your group, who will encounter your group, for heeding to God's instructions for you to do that. And, you know, as you were talking, the only thing I could think about at that moment is God loves us so much. He loves us so much. You know, we may not understand why we go through certain things. You know, like you said, he told you in 2015 what you were going to be doing. You're like, okay, well, how? And, you know, then you had to go through some stuff, you know, but it's still because he loves you, and not only you, but those who will experience either similar situations or the same, you know, things. But like you said, we all need healing. We need that healing. And God is just so merciful he knows we need it. And so then he puts individuals or situations, you know, in place, organizations in place so that we can get that healing. Oh my goodness, this is beautiful. You know, Shamika, I already see there's going to be a connection with you and we're going to be working together.
Let's do it.
I see that already because I see you have a heart, you know, for helping people, you know, and I believe God has given that to you. I really do. I really do. So, okay. You guys, let me just address you because I like to engage with you, with those that come on. Tyrone, thanks for coming in. I think this says Miss Stars 31. I had to pull the screen over here because I couldn't see it all the way over there. Thanks for coming in. If you guys have any questions or comments for my guest on tonight, please throw it into the comment section. I know you guys are probably captivated by what she's been telling us because I have been. But you are more than welcome to throw your comments. If you have any questions for my guest on tonight, please feel free to throw it in there. We'll jump over there and see if you have anything to say and we'll read it. I think Slushy Space has spoken to us and saying hello. We appreciate you for coming in. Thanks so much. Let's see. I was trying to make sure I didn't miss anybody else. If you're here and I did not call your name, that's only because I couldn't see it. You know how they have things. But if you say something, if you type something in, I should be able to see your name. But thank you all so much for joining us on tonight. We're here. I know I'm on a different day, a different time, but I like to try and accommodate my guests, especially if I reached out to them and asked them to come on my show. I normally air on Wednesdays at 12 noon, but it's a different time. But I want to be able to, share or have you share as much of your journey as you can. So that what we talked about already, helping somebody else, right? And so that someone else can get their healing, break free of the trauma. Let's talk a little bit further about what the foundation kind of focuses on with the talking about trauma and the situations that individuals are going through. I mean, because you already have a lot of experience under your belt being in the being in the service. This sounds like it's an extension of what you dealt with, when you first went away. So maybe talk to us a little bit more about the foundation itself.
Yeah, so I was just talking with someone about this when I first started. God had already been pulling on me, right? And again, I'm a dreamer. And when I saw the blues unveiled, I was like, what is this about, right? And the root of this is depression. And at that time, I started to research, like, really, what is depression? We don't talk about that a lot,
No,
right? We do not talk about that. It's such a huge stigma on mental health in our community. And so
Yes.
at the time in 2015, when I researched depression, it was 14 million people that battle with depression a year.
Yeah.
I pulled it up today. It is 332 million people battling with depression a day.
Jeez.
332, not thousand,
Million.
million
I believe it.
people that battle with depression um, a day. And so I found myself in 2015 when it all started to happen, because what God does sometimes, he isolates you. He'll
Yes.
isolate you to talk to you. Like, you're too busy, you got all this noise, he'll isolate you. And so I literally broke my foot.
Oh.
It was a military injury that I had kind of put off to the side, re-injured, and I had to have surgery. Like, it was like I couldn't walk. So I had to sit myself down, right? And so during my recovery, that's when God started to speak to me, because I kept crying. I was crying over and over, and I just wouldn't stop crying. And so I had to look this up. Like, if you've been crying more than 2 weeks, what does this mean? And I saw the word depression, and I was like, OMG. So I had to reach out, to my primary care to get some help. And I started to do the research. And that's when I said, God, why me? And he said, why not you? Right? And I didn't do this to you. I did this for you. And so it started off just trying to put the spotlight on depression, because depression is a mind-altering disease. People don't understand that. They feel like I feel different. Something's changing. I'm not bathing. I'm not brushing my teeth. I'm not bathing myself, right? And so that is depression. So I wanted to shed some light on that, because if you don't shed light on depression, that thing will enter into suicide.
Yep.
Right. And so we have to try to stop that. And so that was my goal, to stop that. And then I started to encounter so many other things that I'm like, God, you are really exposing me to too much. Okay. I felt like Joseph, like, what we doing? Like this. Like, I know if I was there with Joseph, I know we could have had some conversations like, did that really happen? Your brothers did that to you? Right. Right. And I felt like I was having these conversations. Like, I could only imagine with Joseph and David. David was in the cave running and hiding. I'm like, what is this about, Jesus? You be choosing us, and we be going through some stuff.
Okay.
That's how the trauma came in. And so my first traumatic situation was, I was in love, right? I fell in love and it didn't work out. It was so traumatic for me. It was so traumatic. And I literally cried for 365 days. I cried for a whole year, and I knew I needed more help. And again, I said, God, why me?
He said, let me ask this question again. Why me?
Why me? Why me? And at that moment, I heard the word resilience. And I was like, so I just need to push through this, right? I don't even understand. Seriously, I have conversations with God. But to sum this up, my prayer life went to another level.
See.
Yes. So I was the depression came, then I had a traumatic experience. I got the therapist that I needed, and I was still like something is missing. And it was the spiritual part that I was lacking. And
Mhm.
so as I started to cry out more to God, I was able to hear God loud and clear, and my prayer went to a whole nother level. And so
Ooh,
now when I face things, I don't call the therapist first. Come on, somebody.
see, come on.
I don't call the therapist first. I
Right.
call on the Lord, and Kings of Kings. I lament. And
That's
so
right.
I had to learn. Experience is the greatest teacher. I had to go through this so I can grow through it and I can help somebody else. And so that's the foundation. I was shattered. I made
Mhm.
vows to people that I should never have made vows, and learned that I had to start making vows to self. I
Yeah.
needed to set the boundaries. Sometimes we got to go through the fire, right? So we can know what it feels like, the process of it, so we can help somebody else get through it. The Judas effect, right? Being
Yeah.
betrayed. Oh, all of this hurts.
Right.
This hurts, like being betrayed, being talked about, being your character being defamed. All these things started to happen to me. And
Mhm.
again, I'm saying, why? And I
Wow.
love this. One of my battle buddies, shout out to Patrice, I love her. One of my battle buddies, she said, you better be careful what you sing about, right? How we talk about refine, we be singing these songs. Use me, Lord.
Right, 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 right. And then when they start using, you're like, wait, can you
Like,
hold
hold
a second?
like pump the brakes. But we ask God, not I think some we sing these songs and we ask God and not really knowing that, oh, he gonna use you. Are you open now? I'm ready. Right? You get to opening up your God, I'm ready. He's like, oh, are you? Let me
Mm.
test you.
Ooh.
I'm gonna test you so you can have that testimony. And the betrayal, I thought the broken heart, because I was literally diagnosed with broken heart. That's how shattered was birthed, right? And
Oh,
so when I got to the betrayal, I thought the broken heart was cut you deep. Oh, that betrayal is gut wrenching. I'm like, it's like an uppercut.
it's way different.
It's like
Different kind of hit.
it's a way different hit. Yeah. And
Oh,
so all of these things, I literally experienced something and I was able to lament, to cry
mm.
out to God, talk to God. And I will always say, I didn't do this to you. I did this for you.
Yeah.
So I began to write. Mhm.
Oh my goodness. My goodness, sis, you have a story. And look, if what they say, if I don't look like what I've been through was a person, this is her right here. Look.
Yes, yes,
I
yes.
mean, just looking at you, you don't look like you've been through all that stuff. And you
Healing
ain't
is
even told
real.
us everything I know.
Not at all. Not at all. But healing is real.
It is. It
Yes.
is. I
Yes.
like how you, as you were talking, you mentioned about the therapists, that you sought out, the counseling you sought out, and one thing you said in there, which was key, you realized that there was something wrong. You said, for a whole year, every day in 1 year you cried or whatever. You realized this is not normal,
Mhm.
and I think that's important because as individuals, as humans, we have to really understand ourselves,
Mhm.
know yourself, know what's normal and what's not normal. You
Mhm.
know, it wasn't normal for her to every day cry.
Mhm.
So there, don't just push things to the side and just think, oh, it's just probably because of that. She, took onus and she were like, okay, I got to get some help for this.
Mhm. Mhm.
And I think the more we try and have different platforms like your foundation or what have you, this radio show to help individuals to just be open and honest. I always tell people to own your feelings. Where you are. I always say the quickest way to get help is to admit you need it, but you
Mhm.
have to get to that point. You have to understand yourself,
Yes.
understand you, how you function, how you operate, So then you will know that if one day you start doing something, it's continuing on, like, wait, I need to
Mm-hmm.
check myself. What's happening here?
Mm-hmm.
And it's okay to
Yes.
check yourself and figure out what's going on.
Yes.
That's the way to get to your healing, right? We're talking about healing on tonight. We're talking about breaking these individual cycles of trauma, right?
Yes. Yes.
And you started talking about how, after therapists, now you can just go straight to God,
That's it.
Yeah. But I want to ask you though, with that, because I know a lot of times as Christians, as saints of God, we don't really think that we should be going to a therapist or to a counselor, just should go straight to God. And trust me, and look, I didn't grew up in the church. I rely on prayer. I will pray. But you have to know now, I believe myself, and this is Annette, I believe that God will set individuals in certain positions. You have, and I say this all the time, God forbid, if you hurt your arm or break your arm, where you going? You're going straight to the emergency room. You're going to call that doctor. You're going to see what's going on with me physically. So why not check and see what's going on with you mentally? And we should not be afraid to do that. So what are your thoughts on Christianity, Christians in therapy, or anything in that realm, mental health? What are your thoughts on it?
Yes, I 100% believe in God plus therapy.
Okay.
I am whole health 100%. Like you said, if you cut your finger, you need to go see a physician, an MD. If something's going on in your mouth, you need to see a dentist. Okay.
Yes.
If something's going on in the heart, you see your primary care, but they're going to refer you to the cardiologist, right? The specialist.
Yeah.
Mentally, you need a therapist. Spiritually, right? You need God. And
Yeah.
a lot of it, the root is God. You need God first.
Mhm,
And
mhm.
then, right? And then you could reach out to these specialties. I 100% believe in whole health. 100%. And I
Yeah.
don't, my personal beliefs is that you can't do anything without God. God
No.
created the doctor, he created the lawyer, he created the dentist, he created the cardiologist and the therapist.
Yes, he
Okay.
did.
And you'll be blessed to get a Christian therapist.
Okay.
That's a blessing.
That's a blessing. Which
Yes.
is truly, that's what I advocate for. I have,
Mhm.
yeah, until I get my license, I have like a little list of, people like, can you refer a therapist? Yes, I can.
Yes. Mhm.
And they are Christian therapists.
Yes, it is.
But I think it's okay, for us to look at that avenue and not look at it as, we are not believing God or having faith in God. I'm believing him to work through the individual I go to.
Yeah, that's right.
you
Yes.
know.
Yes.
Now you said earlier, you kind of said it a little quick. Did you say that you have been diagnosed with a broken heart?
Yes. Yes. I was diagnosed with a broken heart, literally. And so my chest was hurting.
Oh,
My chest was hurting after this breakup. I was so in love. And my chest started to hurt like really bad. And I was a registered dental hygienist, and I was working with this one dentist, Dr. Blakely. Shout out to Dr. Blakely. She's
all
so
right.
amazing. And she said, Shamika, you keep grabbing your chest. And I was like, my chest hurts. It's been hurting. And she was like, leave. Like, leave the hospital, leave the clinic and go to the doctor like immediately. And so I didn't want to go to the emergency room because we all know you could be in that emergency room for 5-6 hours. Okay.
Okay.
I did not want to be in that emergency room all night, but I went. She let me leave work early and I went. And I get in there and it was a young nurse and she's taping all these little things up to my chest because I went in and I said that my chest was hurt and here I am 30. So they wanted to eliminate heart attack, right? So they were doing like EKG and they're putting all these things all on my chest. And this young African American nurse, and she's like, "Oh, I know what this is. I know what it is." Right? She's talking really fast, and I'm trying to keep up with what she was saying. And she's
Wow.
like, "I know what it is. I know what it is. I already know. I already know." So I'm looking at her like, "What is going on?" She's like, "I'll be back. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you." And so she leaves out the room, and she comes back, and I'm crying, right? And she's like, I asked God for this position. And I told God, if He healed my broken heart, I will work for Him for the rest of my life to help young women, to help them to identify what a broken heart is. And she's like, and I want you to know just how valuable you are. You are loved by God. If no man ever loves you, I want you to know that God loves you. What you have is a broken heart from a relationship. I already know. I'm gonna let the doctor come in here and tell you though. She walked out, and the doctor comes into the room, and he sits at the edge of the bed, and he took a deep breath, and he was like, "What's wrong? What happened?" And I just started crying. He's like, you did not have a heart attack. This is what we call a broken heart syndrome."
Oh,
What happened? Yeah, what happened? And I cried so hard. I gave him one of them cries, you know. He was like, "Let it out." And he literally, that's the first time I have ever experienced that. But a lot of times, and I love my doctors, right? I was in the healthcare field for a long time, but sometimes it's they get too routine. Sometimes they'll come in, "Oh, you okay," and leave out,
yeah.
right? And they'll send their nurse in to do the rest of the job. But this doctor literally sat on the edge of that bed, and he said, "Talk to me. Let's talk about it. What happened?" Right? And I'm gonna be here. Let's talk. And we talked for like 35 minutes. And I felt so much better. And then the young girl came in, and the nurse came back in, and she gave me her testimony. And she said, "You want to make sure that the next relationship you get in, that they love you just as much as you love them. Don't try to do too much, okay?" She's like, "And if they could love you more than you love them, because women, we love hard, girl."
Yes, we do.
She said, "So if you can find one that love you more, baby, you won, right?" And when she walked out, she turned around and she says, "I want you to pay it forward. You see another woman walking around with a broken heart. You better talk to her and tell her your testimony and tell her how much God loves her." And I have been doing that since. Yep.
Wow, that is beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Whoo, okay, you had me have chills when you were telling that story. My goodness, that's
Mhm.
absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, God knows. You see how he positioned her there? Did you
Yes.
see that?
Yeah.
Oh, just for you.
Just for me.
See,
Yep. Yep.
oh my goodness. And this is how you're paying it forward. I love
Yeah.
it. I love it.
Yes.
Um, so wow, okay. Yeah, I have many more questions, but I kind of went off the rails tonight.
It's okay. It's okay.
Just kind of asking you because I'm very impressed with it. Now I don't know a whole lot about you, but I'm very impressed with what I've heard, the little that I've read. I've listened to just a little bit of your live stream the other day. I want to go back and finish it because I want to see what she was saying on there. But it's just impressive. So when she said pay it forward, what were you thinking at that time? I mean, because I'm sure you were probably still dealing with the broken heart and everything else
Mhm.
that came with it. Were you thinking, okay, yes, I'll do it going forward, or did you have to kind of like come into that, realization? This is something I need to do to help somebody else. Was it immediate or?
No, it wasn't immediate at all. I needed the healing for myself. And so
Okay.
I wanted to make sure that I took the time. Again, I served in the military in the chaplain's office. So I
Mhm.
know that healing is a process, right? And we shouldn't just jump into something else without being whole, because then we're bleeding on each other. Right. And
Oh,
so I didn't want to do that. I needed to heal first. And I knew that that wasn't the end for me. I had just turned 30. I was 29 at that time. So
okay.
I was still young. Right.
Yeah.
And I knew it was going to be another relationship coming, but Shamika wanted to be whole. And
Okay.
that's when I got that male therapist. So then the male therapist came in because there was so much other stuff that started to rise up with that. And so that's when I asked for that male therapist to come in to help me process it and for him to know that I wanted him to, play the therapist, but to also give me a father figure conversation. And that's because I missed the chaplains that I was working with.
Okay.
Shout out to Chaplain Roger Vanderwerken. He is so phenomenal. He literally took me under his wing, invited me into his home with his wife and kids. The first time that I really sat down at a dinner table and had family as a dinner as a family, and I watched him like he would ask his kids like, "So what happened today?" Like, what
Okay.
happened in school, and let's try to figure this out as a family. What he did was he wanted to make sure that they knew that they can come talk to family. Don't go talking to outside folks and get this bad advice. Come
Okay.
home first. Let us try to figure it out as a family, right? And bring Christ into it, because he knew a lot of their friends did not believe in God, right? And that it was so phenomenal for me. That was life changing. And so I wanted to continue that. And that's why I asked for that male therapist. But I needed that healing. I processed it. And that's how we were able to build Shattered. Yeah.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Mhm.
So you mentioned about that doctor and his family, and obviously he was being a support to his children. Talk to
Mhm.
me about your support system.
So before the military, or now?
Any at any point.
Okay. So,
Maybe you can do a contrast.
right. So before the military, 100% it was my mom, right? Before the military, my mom she had my back. My mom pushed me, motivated me, like, do it, just live your life, right? So
Yeah.
she was that. When I got to the military, God was he was strategic in placing me into the chaplain's office. So I had the support of the chaplains, right? Family. It was so amazing. And so after the military, now I have my veterans community. And so, in addition to my mom, and I still keep in contact with Chaplain Vanderwerken here and now. I have to go see him. He's in California. But my veterans community has become just a beacon of light for me, a place that I can just be myself, be vulnerable, and they understand exactly what I've experienced in the military. And so it's a place with no judgment, because after the military, of course, now I've experienced things. I've seen things that the world hasn't seen, right? We've been to war. We've experienced death after death after death.
Yeah.
And so that's abnormal for a regular 20, 30-year old, right? And
Mhm.
so now they are my community, because they understand what I've experienced. Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
Mhm.
And that's good to have. Because you never know.
Yeah.
You experience things, but you never know what else could come up, and who you need to be able to pull on.
Yeah.
You know, um, or they may need to pull on you. It just
We pull on
depends.
each other.
That's right. That's right. That's right. So, is it this last book? I know you were having some. I think it things can happen with publishing. Getting books out. What was I seeing on social media? I think it was it supposed to come out at a certain time, and then it didn't or something.
Is it the last book we're talking about, or when Kristen was helping me?
I don't remember which one it was, but I thought I saw something that happened, and you were just, rejoicing because everything had worked out. I don't remember which book it was though.
So maybe, let's see, because the Judas Effect made me a best-selling author, right? And
Okay.
so Kristen, when she was helping me with that one, we wanted it. We had some issues,
Okay.
and so we had to. I was pushing two books out at the same time, and a
Ah,
lot of people were like, "Why are you doing that?" But they're small books. They're not big books. They're 7-day devotionals, so they're not huge.
okay.
And so I was pushing those two books out at the same time, and Vow to Self wasn't ready, but the Judas Effect was ready, and I wanted them both to come out at the same time because they kind of go together, right? If you read
Okay.
it. And so the Judas Effect, we hit the deadline. It was a little something something, but we hit the deadline, and that thing was number one. I was like, OMG. Yeah.
Oh, wonderful.
Yes, that was crazy. And I just found out maybe 3 days ago that Shattered was also a number one bestseller. I was like, what? And I didn't know at the time. I wasn't looking for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Shattered was number one. Shattered is actually the best selling. Um,
Okay.
Shattered, yep. And
I
that's again
love
because
it.
we know how many people battle with depression. So
Yeah.
yep, that one is number one. It was
We
number.
would probably be amazed, right?
Mhm.
Knowing that's why I say when you're helping people out, or when you're talking about depression and mental health challenges, if you will, um, so many people go through sometimes silently.
Yes.
You know, they
Yes.
don't feel that they have a voice,
Yes.
right? So it is crucial that you are doing what you're doing and continuing, like you said, pushing these books out and focusing on the healing part.
Mhm.
That way an individual won't think, oh, I'm going through alone, I can't handle
That's it.
this.
Hmm.
uh, but God wants them to know that you're not alone.
That's
You're
right.
not alone.
That's right.
That I was looking at your. I'm sorry. Did you want to say something on that? Because I'm gonna
No,
pull.
go ahead.
I was looking at your. I think it's your cover photo. One author, 4 books on here.
Hmm.
That's what grabbed my attention. You guys, I want to show this. Let me see if I can show this on. Yeah, let me do this so you guys can see what I'm referring to. Let me make sure I got the right one here. Let's go here. It's something when you have to do your own. You got to produce. You got to host.
Come on.
So this, I love this. I absolutely love this cover photo. One author, 4 books, and so now we know, of course, like she mentioned tonight, she is the author of 6 books total. But these are available on Amazon, correct?
Correct.
So you have Shattered, Vow to Self, The Judas Effect. Loving that title. 30 Days of Understanding What Love Is Not. Y'all need to get these books. You hear me? You need to go to Amazon, please, 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 and look her up. Author Shamika White. I mean, this young woman is out here doing some things, and you talking about she's been in the military. She's done so many other things. I'm looking at her like, but you don't look that old. You look like a young girl and all this stuff. Talking about been in the military, 17 years or something like that. What? Where they do that at? But you look good. You look
Thank
good,
you.
sweetie. And
Thank
especially,
you.
like I said, for what you have shared a little bit of what you've dealt with. This is a lot. This is a lot. Is there anything that you want to share with us that you haven't during this interview? You maybe want to leave some words of encouragement for those that are watching or will watch.
Yes, yes. I really want to just encourage everyone to get to purchase 30 Days of Understanding What Love Is Not. God has literally placed me on an assignment, right? And I just want to read the back of the book. Is that okay?
Please, please
For
do.
30 days. It says some relationships don't end because you didn't love hard enough.
Mm,
They end because love was never meant to leave you docked, shrinking, or slowly sinking in the name of loyalty. In What Love Is Not, you will confront the uncomfortable truth that every relationship, romantic, platonic, or situational, is a ship. And every ship is either moving you forward or quietly pulling you under.
mm,
This book unapologetically exposes the toxic patterns we excuse, the red flags we rename, and the wounds we normalize, all while calling you back to God, clarity, and self respect. It challenges you to stop boarding relationships that are decommissioned, stuck in fear, or too costly to maintain, and to choose connections that actually go somewhere.
mm,
Because love will never ask you to silence God, betray yourself, or remain docked in a place you've already outgrown. The ship is ready to deport. Come
mm.
on. If it's not taking you somewhere, it's time to get off. Choose wisely. And so, God literally, I was finishing up 30 Days of Understanding What Love Is Not, and I was finishing the Fearless Climb at the same time.
Ooh,
At the
oh,
same time, because God literally showed me this vision of his children in the wilderness, going in circles, going in circles. And he's like, they're going to, it's like the children of Israel just going in circles in the wilderness for 40 years. And this is the year of unveil, right?
mm,
So he wants to unveil some things, and he's raising up a different generation to teach and lead his children out of the wilderness. And some of us, male and female, we are stuck in the wilderness because of a broken heart. We're
ooh,
stuck in this wilderness, right? Because of rejection. And I didn't share at first what the finalization of this book was, but after we talk about what love is not this, love is not that, love is not this, love is not that, the last day is love is not impossible.
My.
So a lot of people think this is bitter. No, this is not bitter. This is God. God is like, I'm tired of y'all pretending. I'm tired of you lying to save face just to try to cover. Enough of that. You're going to continue to go in this wilderness, just going around in circles. When it's time, I'm calling you out. I have raised my daughters, my children. I've raised them up to usher you and guide you out of the wilderness so that you can experience a mountaintop experience. That's love on top.
Love on top.
That is love on top. But you have to be able to see, like you said, acknowledge what's happening so that we won't repeat the same cycles. So that's that circle, right?
See?
And it's time to step out. It's time and do it afraid. Right? Even when your family is like, don't you think you better than us? Forget that. Right? No.
Do
I
it.
want to experience all that God has for me.
Yeah.
And one of the things we want to experience is love on top. And so
Okay.
love is not impossible, but love is not abuse. It is not manipulation, right? It is not selfish, right? And you need to learn these things. So when God presents you with the right person, you're not bringing all that baggage into
See.
the next relationship. And so I just wanted to encourage everyone, right? No one is perfect, right? But choose the journey for healing so that you can walk into that next relationship whole. Yes.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Oh my goodness. I have enjoyed it. Thank you so, so much.
Yes.
Thanks for those encouraging words. To those that are listening to me, I take that. I receive it. This has been beautiful. I mean, and I'm just so grateful that we have connected and you were able to come on and talk, a little bit about your journey. We can have you back on. I know you're continuing working and encouraging and helping others and trying to get them to that place of healing. So yeah, we would love to have you back on, at some point in the future. We have to check your schedule and your calendar because I know you're a busy lady. I know you're busy, but that's good busy. Good busy. So thank you again for coming on this evening. I appreciate you, and I'm just praying that God will just continue to word your mouth, give you what to say, and continue to bless you as you're blessing others, because you are definitely a blessing in God's kingdom. So continue on, my sister. Continue on. Yes. So this has been great, guys. Again, if you have not, even while we've been on this live stream, if you haven't gone to Amazon yet to look at, I'm going to show this again, to look at, look up her books so that you can purchase them. You see the author's name, Shamika White, one author, 4 books. And she has Shattered, Vow to Self, The Judas Effect, 30 Days of Understanding What Love Is Not. And all of these titles alone should grab your attention. Shamika White has been my guest on this evening, and she's the founder of the Healing Circle Network. And we all need healing. She said that in the beginning. We all need healing. And your case may be different from mine or from the next person, but we all need healing. And God has that healing for us. And he is working through individuals such as Miss Shamika. I called her Queen when she came on this evening, and she definitely is that. Thank you again. Can't thank you enough. Thanks to all those who are watching on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, those that will come back to watch this segment. I appreciate you in advance. And please make sure you share, please share this stream so that others will be able to benefit from it as well. So we're going to get out of here, guys. As we're exiting on this evening, I do want to encourage you guys. First, make sure you hop on Amazon, get these books. Lady Shamika White. And then on Thursday, I am having a special Our first time doing this webinar. We're going to have a mental health and physical health webinar on Thursday evening at 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. I had to get the time right in my head. So I'm going to play that promo as we exit, but you do need to register in order to attend. It's going to be on the Zoom platform. I believe God has instructed me to do it on Zoom and not on a live stream, because we want individuals to be able to feel comfortable enough to share what it is they're going through, whatever you may have questions about, you may need help with. Myself, as a certified mental health advocate, and Dr. Shirley Hill, as a natural food hygienist, we are your hosts for that evening. And so we want you to come and join us. Please make sure you come and join us. If you go to my page on Facebook, my cover page is the actual flyer. And you, trust me, you need this. We all need this, because, as we get older, our bodies change, whether it is, something that we're going through mentally or physically, our bodies change. And so we want to talk about this. We want to be transparent and get the help that we need, right? We talked tonight about individuals suffering silently and suffering alone. We don't want you to think that you're alone, because you're not. Some women are going through perimenopause. I'm just going to say that. Some are going through menopause, and they're like, okay, body's changing. What's happening here? So these are the types of things we're going to talk about. So it's a physical and mental health check-in webinar, and the title of it is "What's the Cause of That?" What's the cause of that? All right, so I'm going to play the promo as we're exiting on tonight. Make sure you guys go to the registration link and make sure you register. I'm going to put the registration link in the comment section on this live stream that we're doing now, so that you will not miss it. I'm throwing this registration link all over the place, guys. I want y'all to register. I need you all to come in on Thursday and share with us. We can share with you, and we can get the help we need. So there it is on the screen there. Thursday, 2026, 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Make sure you register. Inbox me if you have any questions. I have no problem with responding to you. And hopefully we will see you guys on Thursday. Lady Shamika, we're going to connect again. We're going to do this, okay? I bid you guys speed, and you take care of yourself, okay? All right. All right, guys, here's the promo for Thursday. What is the cause of that? It's a physical and mental health check-in webinar. You are invited to join Dr. Shirley Hill, natural food hygienist of Mo Faith Nutritional Services, and Annette Harris, certified mental health advocate of GetcaughtinANet Incorporated, for an insightful conversation on understanding the root causes behind common physical discomfort and mental health changes as we age. Thursday, February 26, 2026, 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Bring your health-related questions and concerns. Free registration is required to attend.
Get caught in a net with